Yo, what's up, gentlemen? So, in today's video, I'm going to talk about the realistic journey that you can expect when you are looking to get better with women. You see dating coaches online, they're talking about, man, in 3 weeks, you can have all of these girls at your fingertips. You can have whatever woman you want. And for some people, that's true. But for a lot of guys, it's not. And I want to give you like a realistic understanding because I've gone through this journey myself over the past 7 years. I've made a ton of mistakes and I help my clients learn from my mistakes. But this isn't about that. This isn't about me selling you something. This isn't about me pitching you. There's not anything you can buy in the description. There's just a link to my free Facebook group. You can buy something in there, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. What I'm focused on in this video is I want to give you a realistic understanding of what you can expect from your journey, learning how to talk to women and learning how to be a man of high value. And it starts with you not even knowing what the fuck you're doing wrong, being this like feminine, weak, soft man, right? And turning into this really strong, masculine winner that wins at everything in life and is like completely the full package, everything you want as a man, you can have that. And that's how this ends. But you're going to go through a lot of shit along the way. I want to prepare you for that. Because if you're stumbling upon this video, maybe you don't even know where to start. Maybe you don't know why women are ghosting you. Maybe you don't know why women aren't interested in you. Or you go to like speed dating events. I talked to a guy recently and he was saying that he goes to speed dating events and like thinks that he's hitting off with these girls and then he doesn't match with any of them after. And it's because he doesn't know what he's doing wrong. And if you're like that, then you're in stage 0, which is the stages before you even know what you're doing wrong. You haven't found any like pickup advice or red pill advice, whatever like ideology people are into. You haven't found any of that yet. You haven't found good, strong dating advice at all that works on any level. And so you're just confused. And some guys in this stage, they do okay with women, but they usually have relationships that fall apart after a few years, or maybe they just don't get results at all. But a lot of guys are stuck in this phase where they don't even know how to improve. Okay. And the best way to do that, to get out of that stage, is just to educate yourself. But once you start educating yourself and watching the videos and understanding the dynamic between men and women, you're going to hit stage 1, which is you're just excited. You think you know everything. And everything is motivation-based. All the action you take is motivation-based. You're just seeking a ton of pleasure in the short term. I'm just reading off my notes. You're pretty delusional. Like I went through a stage like this where I was incredibly delusional. And I thought that I knew everything because one girl at the club made out with me and now I'm this god of dating. And honestly, a lot of guys looking to make a quick buck online turn into dating coaches around this time. But they haven't made the full transformation yet. They're not even close. They're just completely delusional. And that's why they don't find success and their clients don't get results. But it ends with not taking action. You're not taking action because you're solely based off motivation. So if you're motivated that day, maybe you make 1 or 2 approaches, but it's never consistent. You get a couple quick wins. You're just chasing those quick wins. You're pursuing that short-term instant gratification. And you have no long-term plan. You don't know where you're going to be in 5 years with this. You don't know where you're going to be in 6 months. You just know where you want to be in 2 weeks. And you think that you're just one fix away from this. And a lot of guys get stuck here. This is where a lot of guys get stuck. Either stage 1 or stage 2. And I'm about to get into stage 2. But in stage 1, you can really get stuck. Like if you feel like you know everything you need to know about dating, and you're one of those guys that leaves comments like, yes, King, this is exactly how women think, and this is how you should treat it, and this is how you should run the interaction, and this is how you should talk to women, blah, 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 blah. Like, if you're doing that, then watch out, because this might be you. Like, this was me for a long time, right? This was me for a few years when I was 18, 19, 20, 21, and it ended with me getting into, like, a relationship that wasn't really going anywhere, that was kind of settling. And I'll get into that. That's more like stage 3 or stage 4. But once you realize that you don't actually know what you're talking about and you humble yourself and you get humbled a little bit, you'll enter stage 2, which is kind of the depression stage. Like you're going to kind of feel useless. You're going to realize that women want a man that's incredibly high value and that becoming a very high value man takes a ton of work. It takes a lot of time. You're going to get out of this delusional stage of this high value man that you're not even there yet, but you think you are because you have a penis and you know the value of your testosterone and like your attention and blah, blah, blah. And that isn't real. right? I just want to be straight up with you. That's not real, and you're going to enter this depression stage, and it's going to be really hard. Some guys never enter this. I used to think it was because you just didn't have the right habits, and you need to fix your habits and build discipline, and that's part of it. This comes from bad mental health. This depression stage is, you realize that there's more than just what to say to women when you want to attract them. You realize that you're kind of an idiot. And most young men and most men in general, when they don't know what they're doing and they get a little bit of knowledge and they have a big ego, because we are men, so we have a big ego usually, they'll start to realize like, oh shit, I've been doing this for a few months. I have no long-term plan. I have no good self-image. I want more, but I don't know how to get there. I'm confused. There's so much to learn. There's so much to learn about habits. There's so much to learn about masculinity. And this is where you realize like how much work it is. And it's honestly a shock to your system. And it's going to be very difficult to pull yourself out of this. And the best way that I've found to do this, because I've been in this stage many, many times, is to work on your mental health. And I didn't realize I was doing it at the time. Like I said, I thought I was building good habits and building discipline. But I think what I was really doing was really locking in my mental health, so I had just like good control over my emotions. My emotions didn't affect my actions. And that's ultimately what it comes down to. And this can start by replacing habits. The best way that I've found to fix your mental health is to start replacing the bad habits with good habits. Like you're addicted to social media or porn or masturbation, binge eating, having headphones in, that's a bad habit. Like having headphones in so you can't talk to people, just feeling disconnected from the world, that's going to affect your mental health. And so what you want to do is like replace those bad habits with habits that are healthy for you. And you don't have to do this all at once. You just need to start somewhere. So some good habits are like lifting weights, reading, meditation, socializing with people when you go out, like taking your headphones out, getting off the screen when you're in public, and smiling at people, waving at people when you're on your walk in the morning, going for walks in nature, hiking, spending time in nature in general, living in the real world as much as possible, getting off of social media. Like when you, and you're going to say like, oh, but Tim, I want to learn from people on social media. It's like, yeah, you can set goals. You can set notifications to go off for certain creators that like me, or like Hams that I mentioned earlier, or like there's a guy, First Man on YouTube. It's really good. Casey Zander, like these are all really good guys that you could listen to learn about masculinity and self-improvement. But what you need to understand is that like you need to set notifications for those guys and get off social media outside of that. Like, and spend time in the real world. The more time I've spent in the real world, the better I've felt about myself, the better my mental health has gotten, the better my habits have gotten. It's gotten much easier. Like I woke up at 6 a.m. today and I've been working for 3.5 hours and it feels like I've been up for 30 minutes. I feel so good. And I'm just really excited and happy to be here. This is the third video, or maybe the fourth video in the last couple of days that on this channel that has had this same shirt. It's because I'm filming them all right now. It's really powerful stuff. And so like I really want to get that point across, is that like you need to fix your habits. You need to start leaning into delayed gratification versus instant gratification. Okay? Because it's so important. It's so powerful to do that. All these little habits that you add, they're just 1% wins. Don't expect something crazy. Like you're transforming, if you're going from stage 0 to stage 3, which is next, you're transforming into a like absolute winner from nothing. You're transforming into a guy that women are actually interested in, from a man that women wouldn't even fucking look at. They wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. And so it's supposed to be hard, and that's okay. It's supposed to be hard. The 1%ers, the real men, the real winners, the guys that win, those are the people that don't give up. I was in the depression stage for off and on a year, probably. I would go through this like overconfident phase where I'm like, yeah, man, I know what I'm doing. And I would get humbled again and again, and I would go into a depression and feel useless and feel like I know what I need to be doing, but I can't. And all I could do to get myself out of that was to fix my mental health. Like you can go to therapy, but the things that are actually going to fix your mental health are getting out in the real world, spending time around real people, not around the people that are negative and complaining on the internet. Third, you'll start to see some noticeable progress. You'll start building up these good habits. Maybe you skipped the depression phase. I hope you do, because I hope your mental state is in a good place. I hope you have some sort of higher mission, higher purpose. But you start to like see real results. You get some attention from women. Your body feels a little better. You feel a little more confident walking around during the day. You start getting some dates. You start feeling confidence. You start feeling more powerful in your body. You start building up an ego, but it's more of a healthy ego than before. You're going to notice that this is different than just re-entering stage 1 because it's going to feel more grounded. It's going to feel more real. All right? It's going to feel much more like I have a reason to have this ego. Women like me, right? And this is where you start to get motivated. You know, maybe you'll have some discipline because you fix your mental health and you can take some consistent action. And then you'll start to get really motivated and kind of excited. And this is where you're transitioning out of, you're not running away from pain anymore. You're going towards pleasure. You're going towards not just pleasure, but you're going towards the life that you want. And this is where, if you want to move on to stage 4, 5, and 6, you need to have an idea of your vision. You need to start having a vision. It's not going to be complete yet. You're not going to have a clear idea on what that is. I'm at a stage right now where I feel like I'm in stage 6. So that's where I wrote it up to. And I'm kind of just now fully defining my vision for my entire life. And that is where you really want to solidify your vision. But stage 3 is more like get an idea of where you want to take this. Like, you know, do you want to try to find a girlfriend? Do you want to just have a bunch of experiences and experience a lot of different women? And this is where you enter, as you get that consistent action, you start building up skills. Maybe you even get a mentor around this time. You know, you actually start learning from a coach. And at no point should you feel like you need coaching, by the way. At no point should you feel like, well, at this, you know, I'm not going to put it in here, even though it'd probably be good for my business. Like, okay, you need coaching at this phase. If you're at this stage, like for my ideal client, then you should get coaching. You should get coaching. Like, I don't actually think that you definitely need coaching. If you spend longer than 6 months at any of these stages, you should look at getting help. Whether that's getting help professionally from a therapist, or getting help from a coach, or getting help from someone that's just been there before, like building up a social circle. But chances are, if you're in these beginning stages, like a coach is really what helps you knock these first beginning stages out of the park. Okay. So then we get into stage 4, which is like the degenerate stage and the settling stage. Okay. This depends on your values and what you're actually looking for. If you come in looking, you're a little bit jaded, and you're just looking to fuck hoes, right? Then you're probably going to go into the degenerate stage, which is like tons of sex. Women are super into you, tons of results. You're going out, women are coming home with you every single night. It's like a different woman every night, like blonde girl one night, you know, this crazy Colombian girl the next night. Like, it's a crazy time. It's a fun time. Okay. Or you end up settling, you find one girl that's like good enough, that's better than anything you've had before. And these, you know, guys that usually end up in the settling stage are guys that they never really had a ton of confidence. They don't have as big of an ego, so they're kind of like, oh, I can settle. And I kind of entered the settling stage at the start as well, because I was like, yeah, I like this girl. I could see myself being with her for a long time, but I didn't have that clear vision. And without that clear vision, I don't think any relationship is actually going to be long-term healthy. And so at this point, you probably don't have a clear vision of what you want for your life, and you're actually going to be more likely to settle because it's good. You know, it's like consistent sex, it's consistent affection and love, and it's unconditional. It feels good. It's the first time you've ever had that, probably, or one of the first times, and you kind of want to settle for that, but she's not your ideal woman. But you also don't even know that, and that's what makes this stage scary, is that you think that you want a ton of sex with different women. You think that you want just a loving girlfriend that loves you for you, but you start to realize that this doesn't fulfill you, okay? And that's when you move into stage 5. And this is the realization. And this might come with a little bit of a down trend, right? Your overall well-being might go a little bit down at this point. But it's important to understand that at stage 5 in the realization and the greater purpose, you're going to be less sex-focused, okay? And you'll only know when you're out of this stage whenever you're not worried about sex. You're focused on setting clear standards and building stronger masculinity. You're going to know you're out of this, you're into this stage when you actually, women hit you up to hang out or have sex with you, and these are attractive women that you would have dropped anything to have sex with before, and you say, no, I have to go to bed, I have a bedtime, right? That's when you become a big boy. This is when you start to become a man, right? You start to become a real man that women are really like attracted to, and they'll be attracted to forever. This is where you find your purpose. You start journaling about your purpose, and you find self-awareness, and you start feeling good enough. And And by the way, just a side note, like if you're watching this and you're at the beginning stages, don't let this intimidate you. Don't let this turn into something that you really feel like you need to like skip to stage 5. Like, I'm not going to focus on sex. I'm not going to do this. All of these stages are here because every man goes through them. All my clients, most of the time, have gone through them. A lot of them are not in stage 0. A lot of them are not in stage 1. They're usually stage 2 or 3, and they want to get to stage 4. And then they realize they need to get to stage 5. And then I help them make that transition. And then once you're in stage 6, it's more of like a lifestyle management thing. You know, it's like finding that ideal girl, finding your purpose, staying focused, staying on your mission. And that's really where you want to get to, but you need to go through all these stages, and it's super important. So in stage 5, you're finding purpose, you're getting self-awareness, you're starting to realize like things about yourself you don't like, you're starting to fix certain issues, you know, you're starting to set clear standards for yourself. You're not as sex focused, okay? You're not like, I want to fuck. You still do, you want to have sex, but ultimately you don't need it. And whenever you hear guys talk about, look, you can't need sex, like that's some bullshit up until this point. You're just faking like you don't need sex, but you really do. You need it for the companionship, or the feeling like you're wanted, or you know, just the good feeling, the short-term pleasure. Okay, but around stage 5, you stop chasing that. All right. Now we get into stage 6, and you start trying to complete the man you are. You let women. So up until this point, women was a big driver for you. It was a big reason why you were improving a lot of yourself. But now, in stage 6, you're trying to complete the man you are personally. And this is the ultimate, most healthy place you can be. And you want to stay in this stage as much as possible once you get here. This is where you're completing the man, and you're letting women fall into your life. You're texting women that you're very attracted to, that you really have great chemistry with, and you're telling them, I can't meet until next week because I'm busy chasing my purpose, chasing my vision of excellence. This is where you figure out if you want a wife or a family, and you figure out what she looks like exactly. Like my fiance, my ideal woman. She's my ideal woman. Incredibly feminine, beautiful, sexy. I love her so much. And she is exactly who I want to be with. Okay? All the fun that I want to have in my life, I can have it with her by my side. And I get excited every day that I get to be a better man so that she can serve me more. And she wants that for me. And she supports me. Okay? You figure out if you want a family. And personally, I don't really want kids. But if you want kids, which I know a lot of you do, then you will start to realize like, okay, how do I become a better father? How do I prepare myself to be a better father? What lessons do I need to learn now so I can impart them onto my children at a young age? This is where you start chasing a higher purpose, and you start overflowing with gratitude. You're not filling a void, right? Maybe you start looking for that life partner to travel the world with, right? This is where you start also making more money. You start feeling better about yourself. You start chasing the career you've always wanted. You stop giving up on your dreams. You stop feeling, tamped down by the entire society around you, right? You stop feeling stomped on and suppressed by other people, and you start feeling empowered to be the man you want to be. You get into relationships that work for you. Okay? This is where you start really getting relationships where it's like, this is what I want. Like, hey, little girl, this is my relationship. We're not doing this. We're doing this. And it's because you've journaled about it. You know exactly what you want in a woman. Okay? You know exactly what you need. And you know about that because of the degenerate phase. You know about that because of the settling phase. You know about that because of all the life experience you've had up to this point for the past 4 or 5 years, right? This is a journey. Okay? And you can compress that time down. You can compress that timeline down with getting help from other people, from learning from a brotherhood, joining a community of guys doing that. But what you need to understand is that you need to attract women for the rest of your life. This is where you start to become that man that attracts women for the rest of his life. And you start being fulfilled. You stop chasing pussy. You start chasing excellence. You start chasing what you want in your life. Your vision of what excellence looks like for you in your life, you start chasing that. I've fixed my issue. I'm just reading from my notes. I've fixed my issues before. I'm not worried about falling into old habits. That's how I feel now. If you want an insight on where I am, where I feel like I am on these stages, I feel like I'm in stage 6. And I can't write about if there's stage 7 or 8 or 9, whatever. I can't write about that because I'm not there. And I'm not going to lie and tell you guys that I'm somewhere I'm not. But a lot of you guys, if you're watching this content, you're at stages 1 through 6. Okay? You want to get to stage 6. And there's probably stages after that, but you want to get there, you know? And I feel like now now that I'm like at this stage, I've fixed my issues before. I've fallen out of depression. I've fixed my mental health. I've gotten back on point. I've fixed my habits. I've started building discipline. I've started building a purpose for myself for the long run. And I started like really clarifying my vision, and I have my life ahead of me. And this is how I feel now. And I'm not worried about falling back into that because I know that I've gotten out of that before. I know that I've done that. And so I can do that again. So that's where I'm at. All right. Cool. Hopefully this offered some clarity for you. If you want to join a community of 1,600 plus men that are also on this journey, that are looking to move through the stages of life in relationships with women, then link is down in the description, right down there. Link's down in the description, and you can join that community. It's the Understanding Attraction Brotherhood. It'll take you to a little web page. You'll just have to like fill out your email and stuff, and then it'll take you to the group after that, and you can join there. You can request to join, and we'll look at like your application, and it's just a few questions, and we'll let you in. So I'm super grateful I could share this with you. Hopefully you found out where you're at, and hopefully there was at least one realization from this video, because I'm trying to give you a good return on investment. I don't think I said this earlier, but if you don't know who I am, I'm Timothy Brazil. I'm the owner and founder of Understanding Attraction, and our goal is to make you a man that women are attracted to for eternity. And that is a monumental task, but I think I'm up for it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you. Peace.